super stocks getting ready to race here. 30 or 50 laps of racing action for the super stocks. Let's get through the starting lineup.
Well, the way they're running single file now, looks like the 11 machine of Court Connell is going to be on pole position for this one, immediately trailed by the 43 of Justin Kaiser. You take a look back one more spot, you will find the number 48 machine of Mason Sargent. He'll be trailed by a winner as of last night, the 38 of Johnny Spilatro. Behind them, the 41 of Howard Holden will start in the P6. Matt Cunningham is scheduled to roll off in 7th. That's that 18 machine that goes by your screen right now. The 72 of Robert Negrete will roll from 8th position. Kevin James will start 9th in the number 83. And Neil Schneider's 93 will round out your top 10. Just behind them, the 77 of Michael Nix will start from 11th position. Sheldon Cooper is 12th. The 13X of Jim Merlino is starting 13th, respectively. Piece 14 tonight to Chad Matos. You got the number 29 of Joe de Guevara in 15th, and Eric Martin, P16, at least what is left of that car that is rolling off in 16th round of the field.
Well, one to go from the flag stand. This race is known to get exciting. These super stocks, a little bit faster, a little bit more under the hood.
Zest.
And, a little bit more than the bombers, but I think that the drivers, they will race it just as hard.
And it's the penultimate race on the night, too. 50 laps on the board. Pole sitter up at the front of the field. Court Connell as we go green for 50 laps.
Side by side by side by side.
Closest battle to the front is that fight you see for second spot. Looks like the 48 is Sargent. He's going to be able to go +1, takes a spot away. And the 43 of Kaiser now falls down to third. See Spilatro in the 38 machine top side. Nobody wants to give him a spot down on the inside of the racetrack. Holden making sure that does not happen. 72 in a great right there, 83 of Kevin James all on top of it. And the 11 machine is the driver up front. Was an issue. I know there was an issue with that scoring clock on the back, so I'm not sure if anybody got confused by that. But the 11 is in front, and that appears to be fixed on our end as well. Kaiser is P2 in a 43 after being able to get back around Mason Sargent. Right back where he started in third, and he's going to get turned by Cunningham. The 18 of Matt Cunningham is parked up against his door. Yellow flag flies at lap number 4.
Gotta wonder if that was an oops moment or maybe a score that just was settled, because I definitely put the 48 around and around into turn number 3 and 4.
Well, I could see him pushing, and I really wasn't expecting that to happen. I mean, these cars can get physical, and that really didn't catch anybody off guard, but I wasn't expecting to see that car break sideways like it did. And again, that part of the racetrack really wasn't affected at all by any of the oil or the speedy dry or such, so get a second look.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you see, but it must have just picked up the back bumper enough as he goes around.
I mean, he's on the brakes. He's not driving through them, but that first bit of contact was enough to upset that car in front of him. And at that point, they were both along for the ride.
Definitely took a shot in the rear bumper.
And it looks more like it was on entry, because down the back they're not pushing, but right there into the corner. Boom. Race control is going to, you just heard there, send the 18 to the back of the line.
Everybody else doing a great job to avoid.
Yeah, that's another one where we've had a couple of those tonight, where you get a couple of cars around towards the front of the field and could very easily escalate into something bigger. And fortunately enough for those around, they've been on top of it, going high and going low and making sure that we don't wad up a bunch of sheet metal.
You see the parked vehicles on the outside of the turn number 3 and 4 wall. That is called the stock yard, and a very neat thing. You can pay a little extra to bring your vehicle and back it up to the fence. and get a unique view of turns number 3 and 4 as they come at you or go right underneath your nose. Here at the Bullring, I know that you have sat over there before, and I've checked it out in practice, and let me tell you, you get a real good shot of these drivers visually. Working that steering wheel. Yeah, working the steering wheel, really getting a setup into the corner, or on exit, you can see that back end kind of sliding, but completely under control.
And you don't get a good view even from up here at just the banking at this racetrack. We refer to it as a high bank 3/8 mile, and kind of looking, it doesn't seem all that steep. But if you're in the stockyard, you can tell just how wide the corners are. Obviously, the groove is very thin down on the very inside of the racetrack, but it is a very wide and highly slanted bowl in the corners.
I guess
it's got a lot of banking.
I guess the only thing I can really show is a flat and then the bank, but you need to walk it or need to see it as close as you can.
We'll try it again. Early yellow in this one, just 4 laps in, and looks like they'll reset us all the way back to lap number 2 with the timing and scoring. These guys are, you can tell they're antsy, doubled up in turn 3, wanting to get back going with the 11 machine bringing us 2.
18 to the back, we go back to racing. Turn number 1, the leader again.
Battle for third is going to be on the 43 of Kaiser in front for the moment. Hard drive to the inside though, and take some contact that time from behind.
We're super stock racing. These things have metal bumpers.
It's going to be very difficult to lose that number 93 of Neil Schneider. He's got the bright orange and red on it. He's got the yellow numbers. That car is not going anywhere.
From the lovely country of Canada, coming down here to race at the Bullring once again. He was here last year at the Fall Classic. He had so much fun, he had to come again and battling for the 3rd spot.
That orange number 72 is Robert McGrate, who was up on the outside of the racetrack, lost that spot, and here comes the 43 of Kaiser right back on him. So it seems like any time he gets shuffled up at a line, they pounce on you. 38 is Spalacher trying to go to the inside as well. He'll keep a nose on the bottom, and it'll turn into a side-by-side fight now for P5. That 72 continues to fall back. And he's not even going to get a line in 6th of that. He'll go to the inside. Contact on the door. Sheldon Cooper is not a fan of that. And the 77 is involved as well.
And a fire out from underneath the race vehicle.
He's getting out.
Mike Nix from Bakersfield, our competitor out in Bakersfield, Kern County Raceway Park, he is getting out.
He was so close, too, to getting by that wreck, and again, just got tagged as that 72 machine was spinning, coming off of the corner, and we were talking about how he really wanted to get down in line. And up on that outside of the racetrack, he went to the inside line. The problem was there was a car on his inside.
Yeah.
I mean, it is still 44 laps to go. Maybe he was banking on that driver being more okay than he was with it and backing off and lifting, but that was obviously not the case. As the replay will show you, the driver who I think rightfully had that positioning there in the 89 machine was forced to the apron and gave up and gave him a shot. Race Control's going to give the 89 machine a penalty. So it will be Cooper to the back, but you can see a second. Look at that one.
Going to slow this one down next time around. So let's take a look here. As you see the 89.
It's clear for a small second, but he just can't get to the inside quick enough. And I mean, Cooper goes to the apron knowing that that car's coming down, but if you ask me, he's there. He's getting chopped off, and he'll be the one that goes to the back at the end of the day. And right there is where, see that 77 almost get cleared, and he gets hit right on that right rear. And that probably messed a lot of stuff up. The whole back end of that car airborne. And that's a whole lot different from just getting tagged in the door. When you get hit right there, basically tears the back end of that car apart.
That rear end is skewed up. So. And
I think we'll get a shot of it when they tow it off, although it might be facing the other way, depending on which way the tow truck goes. But and
got a little
red from the fire.
Fire there.
He saw the smoke and got out.
And he did not reach into the vehicle.
Did not go back into it.
So 2 cars down for the count in this one. Mike Nix, 72, out of the running in this one. And like you said, yeah, we're only on lap number 6. Yeah, 44 to go.
They don't know that, I don't think.
No. Super stocks, man. Now let's take a look at Nick's car if we can get any good view of it.
Well, the damage is going to be on the other side of it, so you might be able to see. I mean, the left side doesn't look all that bad, but it's that right rear that's really hurt. Disappointed, obviously, with not making it to the end of this. They had a fast car, was up there in the mix.
Yeah.
A little drop to the back.
So we revert back a lap, so we're going to actually have 45 to go. As you heard there, this race, as well as all the others, are under a time constraint.
They're going to be quick to get in the back green, too. Lights out on top of the pace car. Doubled them up the front row. Court Connell, Mason Sargent, Neil Schneider, Robert DeGreat, back on row 2. Justin Kaiser, Johnny Spilatro, 5-6. Sheldon Cooper, Howard Holden in row 4. Kevin James, Matt Cunningham through the top 10. I think we still have all the way through, well, let's say the top 12 still on track.
I just love how we have a car here that didn't even get in a wreck, but it's missing its front end.
Green flag racing.
And sparks flying. Trouble for the 48. Might be a right front down.
3 wide as they go 2 inside of him. And talking about losing a whole lot at once, Mason Sargent goes from 2nd to P6, and it may be worse, more sparks as he cannot get down. Tough to tell from that angle, but there is a lot of sparks. Every time he goes into the corner, it just does not want to rotate.
And this could be from the impact he had earlier.
It has to be an issue because, again, that car was 2nd in a great spot and barely getting around the racetrack now.
An unfortunate deal there.
That'll be it. He's going to take it behind the wall, so Sargent's night done just like that. Might be able to get it fixed and rejoin later on, but rejoin the racetrack. Good fight going on a little bit deeper on in the back. 83% of Kevin James there in the middle, and caution flag is now out. At least a light is on, but looks like we'll stay green.
Funny enough, I believe that was just a coaching.
Parked right behind the fence where the caution light is.
It literally looked at, because I was right there with you. I started zooming out on the camera because I saw the same thing you did. It's just a weird location that worked out perfectly. The best battle is going to be in the 4th place battle. But I'm going to show you this. You know, it's going to go over to the leaders. So we might have a battle for the lead starting to pick up here. But right now, we're watching 4th place battle. Howard in the number 41 coming at you.
Holden finally is able to get to the inside. Nice positioning there, up and around the 18 of Matt Cunningham. So Cunningham falls now into P5.
Kevin James fans, he just pulled off on the track. Lap number 12. 83 peeled off and into the pits. I know that he was having some issues last night during his heat races. Every time and also in the split mains, he would back out of the throttle, and that's when the car would immediately overheat. So definitely some cooling issues going on. Under throttle, however, back to normal temperature.
That's about the 5th car we've seen pull out of this race. There's still 37 laps to go, so plenty of ways to the end. That battle is still on. 43, the 18 machine. It looks like Kaiser will win out in that exchange.
coming up.
Well, that's Schneider's 93, and I told you that there's no way we're not going to be able to find where that car is on track and making it easier as he makes his way up the scoring pylon into P2. It's the highest he's been so far tonight. Has balanced himself out, I think, in about that 3-4 car length differential in the battle for the race lead, but any sort of a small blip by the 11 machine puts him right back into the picture. And again, talking about 33 laps to go, more than enough time to be able to take it easy, not force the issue, and just kind of chip away a little bit by a little bit.
We're closing in on the Flying Tomato, the number 6, Matos, I believe. Flying Tomato going to go one lap down to your leaders. Now the 41 to the inside looking. The 38 is Latro.
Got a lot of sets of two. Battle for the race lead. There it is. Schneider to the inside on the 11 of Connell, and he's going to get it. So a pass for the race lead. At lap number 19, the 11 wasn't going to give it up. Tried to get back on him.
Tried the crossover move, could not get it to work. The 93 in the lead, slipping and sliding. How long is that going to last before the 11 of Connell gets impatient? And it was a very quick move. A lap before, there was just like this, just opposite positions. And then on a turn number 2, the 93 found 5th gear. Past Connell's number 11 machine.
Well, that's why we were watching a fight behind them, which is now shuffled up again. Holden is now in 3rd. The 43 of Kaiser back to 4th. And it's Pilatro in the number 38 machine who has fallen back to P5. So a lot going on as they continue to work around lap machine of Matos, who's a lap down.
Working in, closing in on halfway. Holden now in the 41 is starting to reel in second spot, the 11 of Connell.
It's a bigger gap though, so it's going to take him some time, I think, to get to that point. But Holden cleared those 2 cars behind him, the black and yellow machine of Kaiser, the silver and black entry of Pilatro, so he has been able to show the speed recently. And you can see while Holden is catching Connell, Connell is also losing time to the race leader Schneider. Cross flags that time. 25 down and 25 to go.
Caution, I believe, would change up a lot in this race. It seems like if you look through this field, the top 5 all running about the same speed. They just kind of separated from each other. To where now they can't really catch up or drive away.
Last driver on the lead lap right now is the 13X of Jim Merlino. He's about to get put a lap down by race leader Dale Schneider up front. He's going to stay high, give plenty of room. The Scar scored in first position, not going to be any issue getting around that time. And that gives about a 1/3 of a track of clear air for Schneider up front, not having to deal with lap traffic anytime soon as that battle for second is about to reach a boiling point. Held into the back bumper. Thought maybe that 13X's being there might have hurt the 11 a little bit. Doesn't seem to be the major factor. Both go low. In fact, that might actually help out the 11 a little bit because he cleared down the back, so he's able to get a little bit of entry in a better 1 and 2. But no, big issue out of 2. Just didn't get off the corner. Here comes Howard Holden to the inside, and he takes over second. We look for the crossover. Not going to work. The 11 tried it on Schneider. And he just tried it on Holden. It didn't work either time. And the guy you started this in up front now back to 3rd.
Ready to sing foul again. As now Connolly slips up the track in turn number 4. Losing more time. I don't know if he's pissing off these tires where they don't want to stick anymore. Kaiser now on the charge. He's about 2 car lengths separated between the 2 vehicles. Looking for a way around the 11.
still 20 laps left to go in this race. It could be 18 as of this time by. A lot that can still happen. Again, the top 5, they are spread out, yes, but at any given time, they're all within a straightaway of each other, so it's not a whole lot of separation. Schneider 1, Holden 2, Connell 3, Kaiser 4, and Spilatro 5. Everybody chasing down that 95 machine, though, up front. Who has the fastest lap of the race with a 16.951 back on lap 7 for Dale Schneider.
They can build them fast up north, man. Let me tell you that.
Only 2 drivers have gone sub 17 in this race. It's Schneider P1 and Connell in 3rd. The 2 drivers.
If I'm a guessing man, the 41 is closing in on Schneider, just based off of what I can see on the screen. So Holden, he has enough time if this race stays green.
Biggest thing I think is working against this, the clock. And 14 laps is a good amount of time, but if you look back at the 11 we passed for 3rd, I mean, that's a whole straightaway of a difference. So
yes,
he is flying in P2. No doubt that he's quicker lap in and lap out, but I don't know if the interval is good enough per lap to be able to get there in time.
It's going to be a wait-and-see game at the top 2. I'm trying to keep them on your screen. Entering back on the track, the number 72 was involved in our biggest wreck of the Superstock race this weekend.
The 11 machine struggling the last couple of times by. It's leading this race. Connell's now down to P5 at purple entry. Has been passed by Kaiser and Johnny Spilatro, so he's falling down, really losing it. And right in front of us, the 48 machine. Mason Sargent back on track, stopped. And there's that caution we were talking about with 12 to go.
This could easily change it up. Big time here at the Bullring. As we're talking about how Holden has a fast one just as much as your leader.
Yeah, this is bad news, I think, for Schneider, because Schneider had the distance working for him and he had the laps winding down on his side. He did not need that car to get side by side with him for a restart.
I did.
Okay, so this yellow flag, why does that
See if we can. Oh, it already started there.
It didn't look like there was contact, though, unless that clip goes back further. But I didn't see anybody else in that shot with him.
That one might have gone too far back, but. Oh.
He might have been. I think that car in front was slower maybe than him, and try to make a move to the inside. These cars have been loose enough as is at a turn 4. If you try to move to somebody's inside and you tighten up that steering wheel that much more, you're not doing yourself any favor. So a self spin brings out the yellow,
and some drama here at the end. I think we're going to be on to something here.
We had this a couple times last night, too. Late race yellows, tighten everything back up. And another car stopped in 2.
That's 72 again. I think they're telling him, hey, man, I know you had some damage.
Is there a minimum amount of, like, car that has to be on the car to be allowed to be on track?
I'm not too sure.
If it fires, I'd go. That's what I'm saying, but it's rolling. They're pushing the stranded vehicle. 48 back around, taking a long way. Maybe trying to get it back going.
So almost 10 laps to go. It'll be when we go back to the green flag. 11 lap shootout here at the Bullring for the Super Stocks, and then we get into our main event, the 150 lap Senators Cup Super Late Model main event. $15,000 to win. If I won 15 grand, I think I would buy a Super Stock and race it. What would you do with 15 grand?
Get a couple of bombers.
There you go. One to wear and one for the spare.
There you go.
like your attitude there. Yeah, bombers. I mean, I imagine most of those drivers need 2, just in the regular season.
Well, if you see how they race each week, they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
From March. So 2x2. Pace car in this time. 11 laps left to go. Neil Schneider in control, but watch that yellow 41 of Howard Holden on the outside of the front row. He was the one that was coming. Justin Kaiser's got speed from P3. Everybody back in this thing. 10 cars left.
They're all on the screen right now as we get going. Green flag. And a horrible start for the 93. Holden to the lead. Spilatro in the second spot, battling. And yellow wave.
And they're going to try that restart again, which is a saving grace for Schneider because he did not get going at all. I think the 41 was by him before they even got to the line. Race control wants him to re-rack him and restack him and give it another go.
There you go. You heard the rules.
So maybe Schneider felt like that he got jumped on a little bit. Race control agreed. He has the opportunity in the 93 to restart right at that first white line if he so pleases. He can wait until the second one right there. Dead even across the start-finish line. Still the 41 on top of him.
Contact for third into turn number 1 and 2, but battle for the lead out of turn 2.
Schneider trying to protect the position that he feels is his. Holden's been faster, though, in the second half of this race. But the inside, I think, is the position that you want to be in these cars. And he's got it out of turn 2. Good fight back for the race lead.
There's some contact further in the back. I don't think this battle for the lead is done. I really don't.
Trying to battle all of the action is Kaiser, who's third. He was behind the battle for the race lead, in front of all of the excitement behind. The 11 got a really good restart. Connell picked up for a lot of the positions that he had lost. He's fourth right now. Cunningham P5. Spilatro, who was challenging for second before we tried the restart again, has now fallen way down the ladder to P6.
Well, the only battle that might be picking up right here is for fourth, 18 and the 11. You see the leaders coming at you on the start-finish line. Laps winding down, 6 to go. And I think the green flag run really helped the 41. He's going to have to use up all what's left of that 41 to catch up to the 93.
It looked like, just based on speed, that it was going to be the 41 who was going to take advantage of this restart, but obviously got better as that run went on, and he's not slouching. He's holding only 2 car lengths off of the guy who's led basically this entire thing, so he's in a great spot. But since Schneider's gotten to the front of the field, he's too good at this point. Oh, and there goes the 11, and that's a hit to the outside wall. Backed it in pretty good and was running in fourth position. Court Connell has had a very up and down night, and back of the car didn't look that bad for the hit.
For the hit that he put on that wall.
He did hit it. You have the mark.
Yeah.
And that means that we get to do it one more time, at least. But get a second look at the issues that happened from P4.
And you can see he's sideways, gathers back up, and then up in the marbles, it seems like.
And got both the left rear and the left front into the wall, but again, didn't look that bad when he pulled back away, but just loose on entry, and at that point you're chasing it up and up the hill and just going to run out of space. Eventually you got to lock it down.
But yeah, he hit in one of the strongest corners of that car apparently, because He pulls it off, or he continues on without much damage.
And that's about as high as you can spin here, too, because of the garage area and the pit exit there. That outside wall is a little bit further away than if that spin came into turn 4 or really anywhere else on the track. So I'm sure that may have, in the very minor ways, played into his favor. You do see that mark on the wall just to the right of the blue signs, but for all things considered, that car's right back in line like nothing happened.
So this caution comes out with 4 laps to go.
Which means that the 41 rather, Holden's going to get another opportunity. Kaiser going to get another opportunity.
Lights off. We go back to green. This time by 5 lap shootout. The laps revert.
Is this going to be the final restart on the night?
I don't know.
A little bit of a bobble on the start, but it still works out for the 93. He's in front. Challenge is right there from second. This may be the closest Holden's going to be, all the way to the bumper, really driving it in deep. Wasn't able to get to him.
Holden cannot let the 93 get too far away. And he's doing just that.
And if you're driving hard into the corner, you're going to lose a little bit on exit. So that's the balance that he needs to find. But if Schneider gets too far away because he doesn't want to get physical early, well, then he's not going to have an opportunity to do it late.
Exactly. Want to be within reaching distance, and right now Holden is losing that grip.
He'd really have to throw it in there if he would get to the back bumper from that distance. 2 laps to go. This time by for Neil Schneider.
I think Holden might be out of time, Evan.
Less than a mile to go. White flag in the air this time. Still there if there's a mistake, but it'll be a tough call. Final time in 3 and 4. Holden's going to make it close, but not enough at the end. And Neil Schneider going to take the checkered flag and win at the Bullring.
Taking the trophy back north. Neil Schneider, congratulations on his victory. And now with a fun battle there at the end, but Holden coming up a spot short where he wanted to finish.
And P2 is still a good result. Kaiser ends up 3rd behind them. Matt Cunningham comes home in 4th position. Johnny Spilatro P5. Sheldon Cooper in 6th. Court Connell in 7th. Jim Merlino at 8th. Chad Batos at 9th. Mason Sargent 10th. With Robert Negrete, Eric Martin, Kevin James, Michael Nix, and Joe DeGavara, who doesn't take a green flag, rounding out through the top 15.
Well, we're going to send it on downstairs for the winning interview.
I would imagine so, and I'm sure he's a big fan of the Bullring now. He might not spell his name right, but he knows his way to victory lane. He's getting all his gear off and ready to hop out. Everybody, Super Stock winner, Neil Schneider. A lot of stuff to unhinge there. Pit boss has a little present for you. Come on over here, Neil. We'll chat a little bit. This was a heck of a race. How does it feel to come all the way from Canada, all the way down here to the Bullring and get a win?
Oh, it's truly amazing. Like the drive, the track, everything. This is such a phenomenal racetrack to come to. We're lucky enough we get to travel here and there, and this is one track we just love.
Our track champion was setting the pace early, and Holden pushed you all the way to the end. You couldn't really relax at all in any of those 50 laps, could you?
No, it was good. It was good. And clean racing. It was fun. Like I said, it was great. Great guys.
What made you want to come down here and compete in this race?
Who doesn't want to go to Vegas?
Yeah, you don't need an excuse to come to Vegas. Who'd you bring with you, and who do you want to thank?
I got to thank my family. They all come down. We got Brian Burnett. He's a car owner. He travels with us. Everybody, Terry and Brian, they're new sponsors to us coming on. And my brother, his wife, nephew, everybody, like girlfriend, Corla, like everybody. Thank you guys for showing up and supporting your local racetracks. That's what it's all about.
That's absolutely right. Congratulations, Neil Schneider. Back up to you, Scotty.